Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your cryptocurrency show for this Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. Welcome to the show. Now listen, guys. Cryptocurrency right now, they're taking a big leg up, And what it's doing right now is it's going along basically sideways. Maybe a little bit downward movement caused by people who think this is the time to sell. Silly. But anyway, they sell because price gone up, and they hear all this news. Oh, price is going to go back down. Well, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It goes down a little bit because of them. But ultimately, she's heading toward her next leg. Every day that goes by, she's heading toward her next leg up. And they'll do the same thing on the next leg up. They'll do the same thing. It'll take a leg up, a huge leg up. Probably 11,000 to 14,000, somewhere in there, and then it'll start to do the same thing it's doing right now. It'll go along this like a ledge, on the same spot, like for a while, and that's what it's doing. But regardless, let's get into the show and let's open up the charts right here and let's take a look at what's going on. First thing we want to check is the Bitcoin price today. And, we're seeing a little bit of movement actually upwards. It bottomed out at around 3%. I guess it was around 3% down. That's 1.57% down. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends the day level with the board or maybe up just slightly. It's at 77.27 right now, and it's going along fairly stable. It's showing a lot of resilience and strength at this new level that it's at. And I'm expecting it to continue along, going along, no real big price moves until it's ready to go into its next leg. When will its next leg come? It's probably what you guys are all wondering. And myself, I think it's going to run for a little while. I think maybe it could be 2 months out, but it could happen tomorrow. But I think it's probably about a month or two away before it goes into its next leg. And the next leg, I think, is going to be really nice. It's when the real excitement's going to start to come back into the marketplace. And everybody's going to really start to talk about cryptocurrencies again as their potential use case scenarios is endless. And they're already integrating themselves into the system very effectively and very, very rapidly. And this is why Bitcoin has such a high price, they thought it was massive years ago when Bitcoin finally made it to the same price as gold is. And they thought, oh, it's impossible, it'll never stay at this price. And I remember the first time it made it up to where the price of gold was, it went up to like $1,150, and it was up close to the price of gold, and they thought that was astronomical. Well, look, right now, it's like 6 times the price of gold. Or 5.5 times the price of gold. And people are saying, oh, it's going to die and all this. They're never going to get it. They're never going to get it until finally they do get it. These people that's never going to get it are finally going to get it. They're finally going to catch on, and they're going to have to buy in. They're going to have to go empty their bank account and buy in and get a small, tiny, tiny little fraction of a Bitcoin. And won't they be so happy and proud? Look, I got Bitcoin. Yeah. You got like 3%, and you had to empty out your bank account to get it. You could have had 4 Bitcoins if you had done it like now. Why wait? Why wait until you have to empty your bank account out for a tiny little fraction of a Bitcoin? Then you're going to be so proud going around, oh, look, I got Bitcoin. Anyway, look, here you go. Here's the market capitalizations for the day. And we're looking at 240.69 billion market cap. But let's refresh the page. 240.8. So it gained $200 million in the last 2 minutes. That's just something that can gain $200 million in 2 minutes, And everybody thinks it's dying. It just gained $200 million. Now, just take that back in time. Go back to Bitcoin's infancy. What if it gained $200 million when it was like 20 cents? It's all relative. Price action and price of Bitcoin is all relative to your way of thinking. So, they're having a little bit of a hard time, these people who are a little bit, their brains can't get around this new price of $8,000 or $7,000, and they're thinking, oh, it should be $4,000. Well, back when it was $20,000, they couldn't get you can never get your brain around it. It's going to do what it's going to do. And I think it's getting ready to make its next leg up, probably in another month or two. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin and one of these people here who's basically in this whole thing, you know, they can't get their head around it going to the moon, and they don't ever think it will until it does. You know, they're like the people who sold the Bitcoin for a pizza. It's the same mentality, and it's still ongoing. Bitcoin is the best time to sell was at 20,000. The second best time is now. In other words, he's telling you, sell your Bitcoins, sell your Bitcoins. Probably be the biggest mistake you ever make if you listen to this advice. What is this guy? Let me take a look at him. Take a look here, you know. Let's take a closer look here at this guy. Here, you got a picture of him on here. Yeah. Let's focus in here. You got a picture of him. There he is. Anyway, that's him, and that's his article he's written, and he says that Bitcoin, the best time to sell was at 20,000. The second best time is now. Sell them, sell them, sell them, he's saying. Sell them. I'm scared the price is going to drop. Sell them, sell them, sell them. Oh, they're all going to go down to zero. Sell them, sell them. That's what happened to me. I bought into that stuff when it was $1,150, and it dropped down to $200. And all these guys were out there, and they were all talking about how, it's not going to scale and all this kind of stuff, you know. I made the biggest mistake of my life there doing that. That was so stupid. So stupid. And then it went up to $20,000, and I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That was sad. It was a sad day for me listening to these guys. And I don't have a fraction of the Bitcoin I sold for silver. I didn't sell them, I just traded them for silver. I don't have a fraction of the Bitcoin. I wish I had those Bitcoin now. You know, now I got a fraction of one Bitcoin. Thanks to guys like this guy here. You know? And now they're still at it. They're still at it. They'll be still at it when Bitcoin is $50,000. They'll be still at it, and they'll be still urging you to sell. This is the right time to sell. It's $50,000. Sell it, and you'll sell it at $50,000. It'll go to $100,000. And then you'll be crying like me. You know? These guys here, they haven't got a clue. They're looking at Bitcoin with the traditional eyes of a traditional market and traditional things on the market. Bitcoin is no way traditional. It's not your gold and silver. This is a new asset class. And it has, if you just look back through its history, you can see its potential. They were 2 cents a piece. And now they're almost $8,000 a piece. And it's all relative. How high it goes is all relative. When you've got a dying dollar, a dollar that's going to go into hyperinflation, we can't put a price on Bitcoin in dollars. So these guys out there saying, oh, 100,000, it's going to go 200,000, 500,000, a million, whatever, they might all be wrong. It might be trillions of dollars for a fraction of a Bitcoin because the dollar's going into hyperinflation. You know? Same thing happened with the Venezuelan currency. Hyperinflation. You know? And it costs you like, for an egg in Venezuela, it's like 1,000 of their currency or whatever, thousands of their currency. And the same thing happened in Zimbabwe. The same thing happened in Germany during the Weimar hyper. It's happened over and over and over and over again through history. Hyperinflations. Now, let's take a look at, anyway, 2. Hyperinflation is the best thing for Bitcoin that Bitcoin ever heard of. Hyperinflation is what's really going to drive Bitcoin up to these astronomical prices where, in the end, you can't price it in dollars anymore in the end. That's how high it'll be. You'll have to price it in gold. And gold, basically what's going to happen is, getting to the nitty-gritty of it, gold's going to be priced in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's going to be priced in gold. They're both going to work together. in this new financial paradigm that we're headed toward. Don't sell your gold either. Gold is going to take a little bit longer, but gold's going to go up too, massively. Let's take a look now. Japan. Japan is starting a process. It's on a road that it's just where we're going to be going. There's going to be a certain point when the governments are going to start to react to these cryptocurrencies. And how they're going to react is they're going to toughen their policies. They're basically more scrutinizing. They're going to be more scrutinizing of these cryptocurrencies and where they're moving and whatever, and they're going to try to control them and regulate them. Japanese financial service agencies is targeting cryptocurrencies exchanges, targeting the exchanges as it steps up countermeasures for money laundering. It's always this money laundering business. Don't they realize that the paper currencies, the fiat currencies, have been used for money laundering from the very beginning to run black markets and everything else? They don't target that because they control the paper currencies. They control the paper fiat currencies, so they don't target them. They're going to target the cryptocurrencies because it's not under their control yet. The end game in all this, they're going to try to take control over the cryptocurrencies. And I believe they're going to do it through wallets. But anyway, they're not up to that point yet. They don't watch my show. Good thing, because they'd be right on to start to build these new wallets, if they watched my show. Maybe I should start keeping my mouth shut about that and not talk about that anymore, because I don't want to give them any good ideas. If you think the government is smart, no, the government is not smart. It's a giant machine that's made up of individual people within it, and these people are mostly intellectuals, and no, they do not think out of the box. I shouldn't give them ideas. Really, honestly, I should keep my mouth shut and not give them any ideas. Listen, thank you guys for listening. And we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.